Hey guys, it's Travis, Pagan Scholar, here with another episode of the ABCs of Contemporary Paganism. Today we're going to be talking about the letter M, and I wanted to talk about mirrors. I don't even have notes for this. I have always been fascinated with mirrors and all of the symbolism that they imply that you can unpack with them. What is this? What is a mirror? A mirror is a reflective surface, obviously, but it's sort of like, so then what is the mirror? The mirror is only what it is reflecting. So I've always been interested in mirrors because there's this really interesting psychological shift that happens whenever we're thinking about mirrors and reflections and identity. Whenever we're looking at a mirror, we see something that is not us, but it is us. And so there's this sort of dysphoria, this disconnect. And I just think it's really appropriate to talk about with contemporary paganism in conjunction with contemporary paganism and witchcraft and things like that. Voila, we have a mirror. I'm making sure you don't see my apartment. But anyways, yeah, this is just a hand mirror, a vanity mirror. And it's pretty ubiquitous. I keep it on the altar because it's white. But vanity and vanity, that was sort of rebranded and turned into a sin, turned into something that we should be ashamed of, when really I feel like it's kind of human nature to want to know what we look like, to know who we are in relation to others, how others see us, how others view us. But likewise, the mirror then can be a tool for how do we perceive ourselves and how do we view ourselves. And I feel like knowing oneself is kind of a big deal. In fact, it's always been a big deal. Talking about Socrates, and Socrates saying that the youth of Athens needed to, that he encouraged the use of looking at oneself in a mirror, kind of for a backhanded lesson. It's sort of like, so the beautiful will then know their worth and then the ugly will know their place. I don't think that, that's a very crass interpretation of why we should look at ourselves in mirrors. But it's to know that our sense of self, our ego, our pride, even our vanity is not misplaced. We appreciate the things that we are instead of the things that we imagine ourselves to be. Within ritual, within contemporary pagan witchcraft, ritual-esque things, mirrors can be incredibly helpful and potent tools because they're sort of placeholders. They're sort of like the clear quartz of ritual tools, they can kind of stand in for anything because anything can be reflected in them. I got this, and it always falls apart. Years and years and years ago, I was a teenager, I think. I found it in check it out, it's my phone, and it's trippy because there's another mirror, and another mirror, and another mirror. Anyways, it's been with me ever since I got it as a teenager. It's survived all of these moves, all of these different kinds of transitions in my life, and I've just held on to it. But yeah, within ritual, within this contemporary pagan mindset of mindfulness and of bettering ourselves through ritual, I feel like mirrors and mirror rituals can be incredibly potent. A lot of rituals can sometimes be outside of us. It's sort of like, here's this symbol, here's this thing that I want to occur, here's this goal, and I'm going to sew a poppet, I'm going to light this candle that I've inscribed with runes and I've anointed with oils, and it's all this stuff that's outside of us. We have tools and accoutrements, ritual daggers and wands, and that are extensions of the self, but they're still not ourselves. Whereas when we have a mirror within ritual, yes, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, that's a portal, that's a gateway. Well, sure, if you want to believe that. But, I mean, it's a gateway to the self. If eyes are the windows to the soul, then a mirror is a portal to the self. And so there's a lot of potential that can be unpacked with mirrors within contemporary pagan ritual. Not all of this is completely just my own spouting. There's also, within paganism, within witchcraft specifically, black mirrors, which are actually helpful and easy to make. All you need to make, by the way, this is partly DIY paganism. This is just a picture frame, guys. I got this at a garage sale for like 50 cents. And literally all it is, Jesus. All right, anyways. Literally all this is Maybe. Hold on. So, literally all this is I put a piece of black paper against it as well, but all it is just a plain piece of glass that I've coated with black paint. That's literally all that it is. I might have written like a spell or something on the black paper when I was feeling much more inclined towards ritual. But literally, that's all that a black mirror is. It's a piece of glass that's in a frame that you can get like anywhere in all sorts of shapes and sizes and really cool styles. And voila, you have a scrying mirror, a black mirror. And they can be done in different like designs and colors even. You could do like gold leaf on the back of a mirror and you could have a gold mirror, which I think would be kind of cool. We even have this idea that instead of a book of shadows, we can have a book of mirrors. We can have, there's enough potential with the metaphor, with the idea of a mirror, that it can be applied in so many different directions that it's actually one of the most perfect and quintessential tools for contemporary paganism. I feel like a lot of people get into contemporary paganism because they want to better themselves, because they have found something that was not in a previous religion, was not in their, something in their life wasn't working, and they've come across contemporary paganism. And through contemporary paganism, we try to better ourselves and we try to better our lot in life. And I feel like dwelling upon the self and dwelling upon our lot in life and dwelling upon who we are and how we navigate the world is actually like, yeah, we use mirrors to do that. We use mirrors every day to get ready. And one of the rituals that I actually do almost every day, I take really, really hot showers in the mornings, and in the steam that gathers on the mirror, I will draw some sort of symbol, some sort of sigil. Usually it's just like off the cuff. It's not really anything. It's just like a god and a goddess symbol or something like that. But anyways, I'll look at the mirror and I'll see those symbols superimposed over myself. And I'll say to myself, these symbols are within me, because what I view is who I am, and what I view is what is within and around and surrounds me. And it sort of really kind of perks me up for whatever I'm trying to accomplish that day. If I need a lot of aggressive and commanding and raw energy, yes, of course, that can be goddess energy as well. We just typically associate like assertiveness with the divine masculine, I guess. I'll do that. I'll draw the horned god symbol, or I'll draw a planetary alignment symbol that is in alignment with what I'm trying to do. So yeah, this is all possible because of the mirror. If I'm just drawing this, that's fine, but then it's on a piece of paper, it's external, or it's on a cloth and I've like tucked it into my pocket, or it's on a pendant, and that's great. I can feel it on me, but it's not necessarily within me. Whereas visually, if I'm looking at this in a mirror, and there's a lot of like things about the senses in ancient philosophy too, like vision is the crown jewel, and honestly it is our most primary sense. It's how we really identify, that's dumb. But anyways, visually, if I see these symbols superimposed upon me through the mirror, then I can like sort of homogenate? What's the word? Conglomerate? I don't know. I absorb them through some sort of osmosian, magical kind of way. And they are within me, and I can project that. And it is simultaneously perceived and projected, and all these really interesting things that mirrors do. Yeah, so I think that there's a strong case for mirrors being a primary tool in contemporary witchcraft. I think that vanity, and I think that self-appreciation and self-exploration through mirrors is very relevant and has its place in our well-being, in our self-love. Self-love September, and I think that really there's something to be said for rituals that we can like sit down and explore ourselves through the medium of the mirror. If we look at the mirror and we see something that we don't like, then why don't we like that? Why don't we like what is in front of us? Because what is in front of us is ourselves, and why don't we like ourselves? So I just think that mirrors are a fantastic tool to engage with ritual. They have a lot of multiple purposes, multiple different directions that they can go in. So yeah, if you have ever done a ritual that was particularly fulfilling, that included a mirror, that involved self-reflection, I think that I would love to hear it in the comments below. If there's any thoughts, disagreements, agreements, things like that, please, I live for the comments. I don't always get to get back to them, but I read every single one of them, and I appreciate all of the time, the very nuanced answers that go into my comment section, and I'm honored by those answers. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and as always, merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again.